Hey everybody, I want to welcome you to Desert Sky Mystics. Today we're going to be doing our monthly reading for Leo for the month of October 2022. Again, this is a general reading, but which means it won't apply to everybody. But if it resonates with you, please make sure to like the video. That helps us know which messages land and which ones don't. So, having said that, let's go on and jump right in and see what the month of October has in store for our Leo friends. Okay, Leo. I think that we are kind of dealing with a change or a shift, and perhaps some of the people that you are exposing yourself to, whether that's friends, family, coworkers, whatever that is. We have that starting out with a participation card, and I'm kind of just, taking everything into consideration here. Maybe this will unpack a little bit differently as we move forward. But my first kind of like feeling I get out of this is that there's a change coming, and what we have here is the crossing as a rebirth card, or is the rebirth card here. Normally it's just kind of on top, but for visual purposes, I have it up here for you. And that's the card of evolution, and it's kind of going from one extreme to another until you find your balance. And crossing the participation card, I'm really getting this sense that these people that you're surrounding yourself with are no longer serving you. And I think that either you have or you're in the middle of taken what feels like a pretty extreme step, at least to some, which is where the line kind of comes in. And perhaps that's just kind of like going cold turkey and cutting off and just going a completely different way. Maybe you're isolating yourself away from, these people. Maybe you stop spending time from them, again, something just a little bit extreme, or you have been there. And this is the process of coming back and finding that balance, finding that equilibrium to where, making those decisions. Who do you want to still keep in your life? Do you want to keep anybody in your life? If you do keep them in your life, what does that mean? What are your boundaries you're going to have up? All of those types of things here. I do think that there is some issues going on here, and I do think you kind of isolate yourself a little bit, or at the very least emotionally isolate yourself as you're kind of going through this process. Because I do think that there's a need here to kind of process these feelings that you're having, process what you are trying to do here, and just a need, just kind of go inwards and feel what you need to feel, and to where you can kind of move through this situation to where you find that balance again. And again, I think that's going to be just really understanding how you feel and where you actually want to go, which is where the sorrow card kind of comes in at this point in time. I do think you are going to be successful with this, and perhaps a successful shift in your life and another part of your life is actually what's kind of led to all of this. This is kind of the hidden influence area. So, I mean, it very well could be, something like, I don't know. For example, you hear those stories about how people win the lottery, and all of a sudden everybody comes out of the woodwork, and it ruins a lot of relationships, especially with friends and family. So I mean, something like that, there's some sort of shift here that has really changed your perspective on, your relationships and who you're around and so forth. So I mean, it could be something along those lines. But whatever it is, This has been a burden for you. It's been something you've been thinking about. It's been something that has not been easy to try to process, to try to figure out, to even know which direction to go. And but the nice thing about that is that you are moving away from this energy. You are, however, moving into the point where you're going to have to make some tough decisions, and that's what this. And it's a horribly named card, in my opinion, but the schizophrenia card is really about tough decisions. I mean, you're hanging on from the hands on one side of the structure, by the feet on the other side of the structure, and regardless which side you let go from, it's an all-in type decision. So I think this is going to be important decisions. I think they're going to be tough decisions that you're moving into, but at the end of the day, it's still moving you away from this burden that you've been dealing with as you kind of make this transition here and process the feelings that you've been feeling about whatever the situation is for you. In general, though, the future is bright. We have the no thingness card here, and I know I said the future is just says bright, and we have an all black card here, but really the no thingness card and the black itself is really encompassing all possibilities, that the future is wide open, that anything can happen. And I really think that, that's where you're at with this, is that all bets are off. I mean, this is going to be really this camel to this lion to this little girl playing the flute. That evolution is completely different. So I mean, that's what I'm saying, is that anything could actually happen here, and it really all boils down to the decisions that you make in regards to this situation here. I do think this is going to be tough for you for a little while longer. I think this process of going through the emotions and everything is not going to be an overnight thing. I got these next two cards here that I keep getting kind of just paired up with. Again, I'm getting intense. I feel like this is like intense feelings, intense emotions, whether that's by the people that you are moving on from, or perhaps the way you feel about some of that. And of course, it's a stressful situation. You're going to be juggling a lot of different things here with this, at least mentally, and double questioning yourself, double guessing yourself. Did I do the right thing? Is this the way I want to go? Am I gonna feel better about this? But I think you are, because I mean, if you look at the stress card here, you got all these things being tossed in the air, blowing a horn, jumping back and forth on the feet on these balloons, that this monkey could pop at any time. And I think that's really kind of what all this is. Then once we move past that, once those decisions are made, and once you kind of get to this point to where you're bouncing all that out, this all goes away. And it does go away. I mean, we got the letting go card here as your kind of the outcome of all of this. And the thing about this, though, is I do think this goes away. This is a timing card. On top of that is that this is all going to end at the perfect time. It's not going to happen too soon. It's not going to happen too late. And it's also speaking to the idea that all things end, whether they're good or bad, and you should let go of the guilt behind that. If there's some relationships here that you're feeling guilty about moving away from, you do your best not to feel guilty to move, because you're just outgrown them, is what it boils down to. They no longer serve you, or you no longer serve them. Whatever that is, the time is now, and people grow together and people grow apart. And I think that's what a lot of this is in terms of what you're dealing with here. At the end of the day, though, once you move through this energy, you're going to feel better. You're going to feel more fulfilled. You're going to feel happy. You're going to feel more at peace. You're going to feel more balanced. Because again, a lot of these cards here, they're not stable, good feeling cards. So I can't imagine right now that you're in a great place, and this is the energy that you do need to move through. But the good news is you are moving through it. There is a happy ending, or a positive ending for you, that this does end, and that you do get to a point of balance, in terms of what you're trying to do here, and what you're trying to shed, and where you're trying to move from, and where you're trying to move towards. So just keep your head up. I know it's tough. Keep pushing through. Things will work out the way they're supposed to, which is the ultimate message of letting go. So that's what I have for this reading. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment box below. If this video resonates with you, please make sure to like the video, and then of course hit that subscribe button while you're there as well. That helps us out quite a bit, and we'd love to have you as part of the family. So thank you once again for watching, and we will see you next time.